Alright, so we back with another video. Today we're gonna be going over the most anticipated albums of 2026. Last year we did one of these. It was a pretty interesting video. For the most part, a lot of those albums we got. We're gonna discuss that a little bit when we get into the honorable mentions. But today we're gonna be talking about the top most anticipated albums right now. It's gonna be some that we got release dates for. It's some that we don't really know nothing about. It may be some that even came out by the time this video even get out. But that's what we doing today. If y'all do want more, like the video. Hopefully you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Further ado, let's hop into it. Hopping into it, man. We get into the honorable mentions now. Looking at the honorable mentions, making this list, I had to look at some of my stuff I had last year. Now, some things I'm not gonna have on it this year that I had last year. Last year we had Carson more chaos. In my opinion, that was Last year we was talking about Kendrick drops the real album. Now at this point, I don't think we will remember when that Kendrick album dropped. It was like a little time of uneasiness where people was like, this is like a mixtape, and people was like, is this the real album? Because he had the little snippet that he dropped the song of. It wasn't on the album. I think he even performed it at the Super Bowl, but then he wins the Grammys. He has the Super Bowl. He performs the album at the Super Bowl, and those two kind of gave it like a whole nother first week, and the rest is kind of history with GNX. So I don't know if he's gonna drop. We're gonna talk about that when we get in today, because Kendrick, he's gonna be in this video. We just gonna say that. But I said if not, Carter 6. That was just a straight miss. I don't even need to speak on that too much. Now, when it comes to the other albums I had within the actual list last time, Travis at this point last year was saying he dropped it. I'm guessing that was Jack Boys 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all getting it, like, but we were having, it was a lot of misses last year. Then we had the Drake and Party. I think that was actually solid. Then we had Young Thug Slide Season 4. We can just, I guess we can account that as scuti. I guess that's solid. Then we got albums that we're going to talk about on this list. But then we had Hurry Up Tomorrow by the Weeknd. That had hype. That had anticipation. I did not have that one. I had that 3 last year behind the Drake solo, because a lot of people at that time was really trying to hear from Drake. But I do think Hurry Up Tomorrow, as of now, looking back in hindsight, I should have had that 1. And at 1, what else could I have at 1 but Carti, I Am Music? I'm not gonna lie, that was low-key a miss. It was low-key a lot of misses last year, I'm not gonna lie. So, looking at that, going into the honorable mentions, an honorable mention I actually had last year is gonna be another honorable mention this year, Kanye Bully. Now, the thing with this, Kanye's got canceled so many times. It's hard to really describe if he really does have that hype at the end of the day. So it's tough to really put it top 5. I kind of forced number 5 at 5 just so I could have a top 5, but you could say Kanye is the 5th one. For me, I don't even know how to really feel about it, because the little Bully snippet album that he dropped last year was actually pretty solid, in my opinion. It was better than either of the Vultures, and I actually didn't think the Vultures one was as bad as people acted like. It was Donda 2 is a little overhated, in my opinion. And I think Kanye Bully could be good, but the AI is going to really turn me off to it, so I had to put it to honorable mention, honestly, because of the AI. Outside of that, though, didn't have no other honorable mentions. You could throw in the Travis, but I think the album that he was kind of like promoing last year at this time of the year was that Jack Boys 2, and that was really a Travis album that he just didn't want to claim, in my opinion. So here we are. Let's get into the actual top 5. Alright, hopping into the top 5. Coming in at number 5. We're going to discuss pretty much every single one of these and how it kind of does make sense. Coming in at number 5, we got Kendrick Lamar. Now, we kind of already got the Kendrick Lamar solo album coming out the beef. Really talking this shit, I guess. Not really like a celebration, but more like a victory lap album. And I don't really think... now, this may be a hot take. I don't know if it's true or not. But I don't really think people cared as much to hear what Kendrick had to say, but they was really more so hyped for his moment, if that makes sense. When it comes to Drake, on the other hand, I think people kind of do want to hear what he has to say about all, because it was a lot. Like, I think people kind of only think about that situation as really Drake and Kendrick. It was a lot more than just that with Drake. With Kendrick, it was really just him and Drake. So, I don't know. But Kendrick, he dropped this little victory lap. Maybe now we getting on to bigger and better things. Because he was showing us something with Mr. Morale. Kendrick has a thing where he don't really like making the same type of album. I don't know where this could go. We already seen some snippets getting leaked. I don't know where this could go. So, maybe Kendrick prepping to drop another album. Maybe when Drake drop his album, Iceman that he been hyping up. Maybe Kendrick stepping on that. I don't know. But right now, because we don't know that much, I did put it at 5. But in reality, it probably is more if we knew more about it, personally. Then coming in at number 4, this is an album that's coming out very soon. At the time of me recording this, it's not out. It might be out by the time this is recording. I don't know. But at the time of me recording this, it's not out. A$AP Rocky, Don't Be Dumb. Now, the issue with this, for me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a big A$AP Rocky fan. Now, his testing album, that really wasn't it for me. But everything before that, come on, bro. One of the best discographies in the 2010s, in my opinion. But the issue is, it is 2026. This brother ain't dropped an album since 2018. And he has tried to start the promo for this like 3 times. Now, when he first did it, it was hype. You know what I'm saying? He had the hype. He had the little snippet with Carti. He was performing shit at Rolling Loud. And then, it's like he scrapped that rollout, restarted another rollout. And I think that second one, he scrapped that. He kind of did the Rolling Loud gimmick again, scrapped that. Then he does the Rolling Loud gimmick again, but this one felt real. It was like August last year, and he drops a single. I guess it didn't do as good. I'm gonna be honest, in today's climate, I don't think singles is really it no more, personally. To create hype for your album. Like, even look at Weeknd last time. Like, the singles that he dropped didn't really do that well. And those were some of the worst songs on the album. And the biggest single that he dropped didn't even make the album. So, I don't really think singles is really it right now. If anything, it just spoils the album at this point. You don't really have to do that no more in the streaming era, in my opinion. So, I think that the thing with Rocky is just like, he's kind of redid this rollout multiple times. Now, the one time he did the little RIP song, that was the one rollout where the restart of a rollout, I actually did enjoy. I actually liked that song. But for the most part, a lot of these restarts I didn't like. Now, August last year, it was cool. It wasn't crazy, but I actually felt like that felt more real than the other ones, where it would always be like a one drop, feel like we finna start this up again, and then it will be a disappear again. Last year in August, he dropped like 3 songs, and he just disappeared. This one feeling really doing the bundles. I seen he had like some type of thing where people can rent albums. Hey bro, he gonna surprise some people with how much he sell, cause I think he got some type of company buying thing, cause you can rent albums now. Rent. Hey, he may do something with that. I don't know. That's kind of wild, but I got Rocky at 4. Personally, the hype for me, he trolled it too many times. It's not where it probably should be as an A$AP Rocky fan. But we'll see when the album actually comes out. Next, we got at 3. Now, I think this top 3, you could go really any order. But at 3, because Carti dropped last year, and how likely is he to actually drop this soon? Carti. Now, I think people forget this. Bro, when he dropped I Am Music, Act was talking about it. He was saying, like, bro, he can't get out, bro. He dropped the album and instantly trying to do snippets to another album. Literally. Babyboi was supposed to drop last year. He was teasing that he was going to drop 2 albums. He said he was going to drop this week and then another one next week. And then he was saying, I'm going to drop 2 this year. Bro, we ain't get but 1 album last year. Bro was chatting. He was straight chatting. Straight chatting. So this is the peak chatter. But Babyboi, I'm going to keep it a beat. I still got my hopes up that this is the real I Am Music. Because that I Am Music shit was not it. It was okay. It had its moments for sure. It had some songs on there. But for an album of like what he was building his catalog to be, where he got better and better and better with every album. And then it was just a steep cliff. With this one, yeah. I'm gonna treat that like Jack Boys. I'm gonna give it a bean. Jack Boys 1 and 2 Trav don't claim those. We don't claim that personally. But we'll see. Babyboi, I do think has some hype. You could argue right now with A$AP Rocky's so close. For most people, A$AP Rocky probably above it. People may even be forgetting about babyboi, which I can't really imagine. And it just feel like Carti and Kendrick motion right now is kind of crazy right now. It's kind of unbelievable. But yeah, that's where I got Carti. I got him at 3. Now at 2. Now this is tough. I'm gonna actually do a last second swap because I do think the negative for the person I have at 1, it's kind of easing away. I think people are kind of starting to not even remember or forget some of the things that happened in 24 to that dude I'm gonna have at 1. So I'm gonna say at number 2 we got Drake, Iceman. Now, say what you want about Drake and all this, that, and the third with the singles, the albums. Still Drake at the end of the day. It's gonna do numbers. I don't know why, bro. All this the bot stuff now. If it do come out that he doing bots, that would be I'd probably be the most shocked person ever. But this is the same person that was having hits before he ever dropped the album. This is the same person. His first album had like 600K. Second album 600K. Third album 600K. This is all before streaming. He dropped a surprise album, sold like 500K. This is all before streaming. He goes into streaming. All the big streaming people are trying to get him for a reason. He was the biggest artist in the world. I don't know what gimmick, what world people living on, but this is just reality. That is what happened. Now, the thing is, what really makes it unbelievable ain't even that. My point is, if he actually, like with this whole Rico case, if he actually got bots now, why would he not do it during the beef? That would be my question. Why would he not do bots during the beef? It was some clear, you know what I'm saying, stuff going on. Why would he not do it during that? And if you saying he did, why would he not do more for his first week sales? It just don't really make sense. And then the Ray, they saying that it was tied to a steak deal. Like, I'm gonna keep it being like, some people, I just don't know if they real. Now, if that's real, I get it to him. But when it comes to Drake, Iceman, I'm gonna be honest. The promo, the rollout he doing was pretty cool. He should have just kept going with it, in my opinion. I think that last episode he definitely trolled though. Like, he started out really good with What Did I Miss. I think the second episode was actually really good. I just don't think the song that he dropped with it, was definitely troll. I think the third episode, low-key, arguably was the best episode in terms of dropping hints, especially with the snippets. It's just, he started with What Did I Miss. That was a very good single. And then he dropped Which One? And I'm like, okay. It's just, he just kind of trolled that part of it. But I do like the streaming, incorporating streaming into it and stuff like that. And that was never done before. It was kind of like, you gotta think about it. When they're gonna roll out, at a certain point, everything done been tried. So trying something new was just cool. But we'll see. At the end of the day, I'm pretty hyped for it. It's some snippets out there in terms of from the rollout that he did that's supposed to only be on the album. Apparently the singles that he was going in there and dropping were not album songs. Apparently the snippets are actually the beats within it. So we'll see. I don't know at this point. But I got Drake, Iceman at 2. It's a lot going on with Drake. And I do think this is probably one of the most negative times for Drake. But I ain't gonna lie, I think people kind of confused when it comes to PR. Like, all publicity is publicity, whether it's negative or good. So we'll see. I think people kind of forget that. Like, when albums like Scorpion came out, Drake had a lot of haters back then. Like that, I don't think people remember what happened right before that came out. That was literally right after the Pusha T beef. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. This one is gonna say a lot though, in my opinion. And then coming in at number 1, last but not least, like I said, I did change it because I do think there's some things going on with Drake that do make it a little tough. But also when it comes to this person, I think people forgot about all the stuff that happened in the beef with him. J. Cole. Yeah, J. Cole with the apologizing for all of really after that. He was clowned for it in 2024. Now, the thing is, when it comes to the actual music, J. Cole, he ain't really slipped up on features, the music drops. So you can't even really do that with J. Cole. It's really just the fact that he apologized and pretty much just ducked the beef. And I think people, last year if he would have dropped it, probably would have been too soon. But I think as time keep getting away from that all that negative stamp he had Fall Off already had crazy hype before the beef. The beef only really trolled his hype he had for his album, in my opinion. Cause like, if I would have did this list last year, he would have been up there. Like, if there was no beef in 24, he would have been real. He might have been one, bro. I think people forget his feature run did a lot for him. That feature run did a lot for him. So we'll see. We at the part where the Fall Off supposed to be coming. This could be coming out before. The Drake album could be coming out before this is out. Y'all probably don't even see this. But the Fall Off by J. Cole. Now, we also got some info that there was 2 Drake verses and 2 Kendrick verses that had to get taken off. I'm not gonna lie, J. Cole. You need to drop that. Forget that. This is your magnum opus. This is your outro. We just seen the Weeknd drop his finale. 10 out of 10. I need it again, but we'll never get it again. So, I'm not gonna lie, the expectations, it's very rare that people ever meet these expectations. I think J. Cole, in terms of albums, personally, I don't expect a 10 out of 10. J. Cole don't really drop 10 out of 10 albums. He's not consistent at dropping good albums, in my opinion. But when he does drop a good album, fantastic. And I'm expecting Fall Off, especially with the feature run, especially with the hype, especially with all the details that we know. I don't think that he got bullied out of taking Drake features and Kendrick features off, especially when it came out that they were supposedly still cool. I don't know about Kendrick and J. Cole though. I don't know. That's a weird one. How do you, if you J. Cole, how do you even go about that? Because Kendrick, like it or not, kind of ruined bro reputation with that beef shit. I'm not gonna lie. Because like I said, before that, J. Cole was chilling. J. Cole was chilling. He had beef with nobody. He may have had beef with like some random artists for real, but like for the most part, he ain't really had beef with nobody. And even then, it's like he don't want to have beef with nobody, and that's the whole negative with him right now. So, I don't know. J. Cole is a weird one to try to rank, but I'm going to give him 1 because you got to think about it. This is his finale. This is his finale. This is going to be the best rapping of his career. I think J. Cole is actually a clear case of somebody actually improving at rapping and probably going out on top in terms of his actual raw rapping ability. Now, in terms of his song making ability, that's the question. And that's why I do think he's been so good on these features, because he don't really have to make good songs. He just got to drop a really good verse on a beat that he didn't have to choose, because his beat selection can be questionable as well. And I think that's really the way for him. But hopefully he can go out the right way with this album called The Fall Off. So, yeah, that's my top 10 most anticipated albums. That's a top 10. That wasn't even close to 10. Top 5 most anticipated albums. Like I said, some of these could be out by the time that this comes out. If it does, I'll probably have to redo the list. But if you're seeing this, you probably, you know what I'm saying, probably the only one came out, but none of these came out. So that's going to be the video. If y'all do want more, like the video, subscribe if you're new. Whatever they do, man. It's your boy Fitz. I'm out of here.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!